I believe that at the end of the day, we will all benefit as rank and file members because the government, they owe us.
The matter was heard in the Home Circuit Civil Division this morning, and arising out of that, a few orders were issued by the court, and a further pre-trial date for March the 10th has been set, and a trial date set for the 4th and 5th of April 2022. It is expected then that all the court's directions will be complied with by all parties, and that we will be all in good stead for a hearing to be conducted on the 4th and the 5th of April 2022.
Can you say what those orders are?
It is that both parties should file the whatever disclosure needs to be made, an affidavit in further support of the matter, and whatever case references, and it must be done within particular period so that the matters can be responded to by both parties, and where there are no objections, they should now file a pre-trial consent form for the court's use.
At one point, Mr. James, it had appeared that the Police Federation and the government would have reached a settlement. Any possibility of reaching any further settlement is completely off the table now?
We have extended an olive branch, and we are still amenable to an out-of-court settlement if the government so desires. But one thing we can say for sure, we will not compromise the hard earnings of the men and women of the constabulary force. We are expecting that the government, since they are relying on equity, they must come with clean hands, and they must be prepared to make that compensation. We are prepared to afford a particular amount of time, and we will not be going beyond that remit.
What's that time?
We will not be going outside of a 4-year period for full compensation to be made to the men and women. And we expect that since the matter is before the court, we also have other alternative mechanisms that we believe can bring about a result, and we would want that leverage to be made to counsel so that this issue can be settled amicably.
So we have a 2 years contract. Each time we negotiate, there is a signed heads of agreement. So within that time period, it is expected that the government of Jamaica or the Jamaica Constabulary Force and MNS should do the necessary implementation for the necessary items of claim that would benefit the rank and file members. To date, we have seen a clear delay, and this delay has hampered many things for us. And we would love to see some corrective measures in place, because really and truly the 40-hour work week and overtime payment is not the only item of claim. The government knows that. But we are focusing on the monetary aspect that will help us have a livable standard, as a survivability standard for ourselves and our families. I'm quite confident that good sense will prevail in this matter, even though there were different deliberations done, both from the Jamaica Police Federation legal team and the government legal team. You know, I believe that at the end of the day, we will all benefit as rank and file members because the government, they owe us. So therefore, some settlement should be reached previously, and to date we are here at this point. But the Police Federation, we will not relent in our efforts. We have a mandate and it will be fulfilled. So I'm just inviting the government of Jamaica to partner with us and pay the national security apparatus of the land.
We know that what the government has put before the court as a defense is a red herring, and we will not allow ourselves to be daunted by the fact that the government is buying time. We know that we have placed a substantive matter before the court, and the chance and the opportunity of being successful is highly possible. and we are not going to allow ourselves to be distracted at this time.
I know that a lot of police officers are discouraged right now. What would you say to those members?
As usual, we will continue to implore upon our members to understand that we continue to serve the citizens of this country. They are our greatest stakeholders, and we will continue to lend them the support and the safety and security, and continue to be professional. And we will continue to implore upon them to, in the face of the bravery that they continue to exhibit, that they must also take personal safety as being paramount, more so in this Yuletide season, and in everything. Be strong and continue to pray and to invoke God's presence where they must. We cannot do it all by ourselves, and we must continue to do it with God's grace and presence every step of the way.